This is the last class, and Bob and I have enjoyed you as participants in our endeavor the second year, and Bob says that we're going to do it next year, and we'll find out. I said, I guess we can, so we'll see. First thing I'm going to start with was storing the supers. Many of you have already extracted your honey, so now where do you put the supers? If you place them in places like I do, it's in a shed, and how do you keep things from getting, critters from getting in? And that is always a problem. If it's older equipment, mice love to chew on it, put holes in it. I've done everything from plastering metal on the outside to duct taping everything and so on. That's a big problem. I'll leave that for your own ingenuity. Moths, wax moths. I had some wax moths this summer. Actually, had them in my back of my pickup. And wax moths are buggers. Don't think I have a device. They dig into the wood and make a mess of it, but they do a terrible job with the wax. They just eat it up. They're waxings, what the people fish with, so you know what they are. I mean, but there seems to be a lot of them this year. So the way to prevent them from getting into your equipment, or its pry, is paradichlorobenzene or Paramoth. B&B has it. I was over there last, well, let's say it this way. He doesn't have it right now, unless he got it since I was over there. But he's getting some, and I ordered some. And the way you apply it, take a paper plate and place 3 ounces of Paramoth on a paper plate on top of a stack. You can stack as many as 8 of the supers, and what I see doesn't say whether they're deeps or mediums, so I think 8 is the number, and whether it's deeps or mediums. And then tightly cover the top and bottom of the stack. Don't leave any airspace available. And that should keep the moths from getting in. If they're already in there, they'll probably increase in population. But it should.
How big are these moths, Oscar?
Yeah, what do they look
What's
like?
that?
How big are these moths?
All I say about that long, and when they land, they pull their wings in real tight, and they look like a little tiny hump, and about half the width of, well, even less than half the width of my finger. So, and the ones I used to know were kind of a brown. The ones I see now are kind of a gray. But many times bigger than housefly.
Yeah, well, I have one hive that throughout the summer, every once in a while I take the top cover off and then 1 or 2 big moths would come out, but they're the size of your thumbnail. And I go inside and there was no more inside the whole hive, but just those 2 are on the top and
What you'll see,
they fly away.
if you have them in your hive, take out a frame and you'll see tunnels. They tunnel, they get down into the wax, and they like wax and honey. They don't like honey that much, but they like the wax and honey. And they'll tunnel in the tunnels, and they'll go all over this. And they straight line for a while, and then they'll take a zag, and then they'll take a zig, and so on. So if you've got them, and if the moths have been there long enough,
Yeah.
you've got them. But then all you have to do is tear out the wax and redo it.
Yeah.
Because putting this moth guard on isn't going to help that much at that time. Okay? Fall feeding. Leave sufficient honey for bees to feed during the winter, 65 to 75 pounds. You might be able to get by with lesser than that. I put on here a medium frame holds 4.5 pounds of honey. I was extracting last week. I took one of the pretty good sized mediums, and it weighed 5.5 pounds when I put it on the scale. Now weighed the frame instead of weighed the pound. So I'd say 4.5 pounds. Well, you're gonna have to have a lot of honey on there. A deep, probably at least 6 pounds of honey in it. At least 6 pounds of honey. So you can judge by that. And B&B Ted says he overwintered bees last winter just with one super. One super. And that's all he had. I don't know how in the world he did it. He says he's going to do more this year. And he says he survived real well. Mine will have 2 deeps. Some of them will have 3 mediums instead of 2 deeps. All right, because I do a lot with mediums. I put in here where the deep holes. I didn't have a deep to weigh, so I couldn't put in there, but I put about 6 pounds. All right. Now, there's supplemental feeding possible. Of course, we know that if you don't have enough food, I better move a little bit on my table here.